I really think the internet changes everything. I think it gives us a way to understand the human reality of other people that we have never really had, because we can see YouTubes of ordinary people. They're not produced, they're not filmed and lit, and they're just ordinary people living their lives. And I know we're always at risk of turning that into inspiration porn or turning it into a way for us to look at people with disabilities as being other or different. But we're trying to do what we can. I just was part of a funding decision to put in place automatic personalization for the internet, and we're going to try to build this system in the United States so that when you log into the web, it will recognize you, and your web device will be accessible to you. So it will be the right size font, and maybe it'll speak to you if you're blind, or it will be very simple, person-first language, plain language, whatever it is that you need, whether you're an elder or a person with a cognitive disability or just someone who's really busy and likes to listen to everything instead of having to read everything. But we're going to try to build that system. We've got it. We can demonstrate it. We just have to show that we can deliver it 24/7 without fail, without error for large numbers of people. And I think that's one piece. We need to think about, if the internet really does change everything, how do we make sure that people with disabilities have the capability to benefit from that cultural advance the same way that everyone else does? In the US, sometimes we forget about cultural rights. We don't read the Universal Declaration of Human Rights very frequently, and we think about civil rights, and we say human rights, but we sometimes don't talk about economic rights, and we almost never talk about cultural rights. And cultural rights are, you have the right to benefit from advances in your culture on an equal basis with everyone else. And I think the internet is one of those things. I would like to see us be able to have communities where people could speak to other folks who are doing their similar work in other countries and other places. And I don't think we've quite figured that out with the internet yet. What does that look like to have those conversations? But I think it will be really interesting to think about how that happens. You know, so I was talking to somebody recently who was a wise person about the internet, and they said, Sue, you have to analyze the incentives. What is the incentive to keep information away from people? And so I'm trying to do more of that and figure out what is the incentive of the status quo. And I think when we can use the internet to start to talk to each other about those questions more, I think it will be powerful. The Arab Spring was an internet-fueled change, and it went in a whole bunch of different directions. And in some places, like Tunisia, where they rose up and decided that they were going to protect civil society, it's had different effects. So I think the same will be true for us. If we just turn the internet into a greed machine where you can find out what everybody else has to make sure that you can get what everybody else has, that's going to be bad. Or just into a marketing machine where it's all, oh, you need this wheelchair, you need this wheelchair. That would be bad. But if it was a way to say, hey, you know, you're a blind guy and you use this, maybe you should also have this other thing. I think the internet could be delivering some solutions to people with disabilities in ways that we haven't really thought about yet.